going live. Am I live yet? Hello? Hello? What's going on? Hello? Have I made it work? I feel like I've made it work now. I feel like I'm currently live on youtube.com/the Sableyes. Hello, everyone. How are we going? Hopefully all is going well. If you can hear me, then feel free to jump in the old chatteroo and let me know. I feel like it's happening. I feel like I've got it happening here. This looks like something. Alright. Hello. We are going to be playing some more Pokemon TCG Live tonight. I'm going to be playing Palkia this time because I didn't play very well yesterday. And I want to make sure that I do play well today. Because Pokemon Live has its brand new update, which means that we have a faster gameplay experience and we also have a different background. We've got a different board, which is going to be very exciting. Let's talk about the deck first of all. We're going to be playing Palkia tonight. If you don't know what Palkia does, here it is. It's up on the screen. Palkia is a very powerful V-Star Pokemon. For 2 energy, deals 60 damage plus 20 more for every benched Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent. That can get up to 260 damage very easily. Star Portal allows us to attach some energy from the discard pile to our Pokemon in play. Star Portal, very, very strong for powering up Palkia. You're going to pair that up with the Inteleon engine, which has Shady Dealings, as I'm sure many of you already know. Shady Dealings allows you to search out 2 trainer cards from the deck in order to utilize them during your turn. We can also play Drizzle and things like that as well. It's going to allow us to find cards like Cross Switcher in order to bring up Pokemon from our opponent's bench, or even grab cards like Irida, which will help us search out more Pokemon and more items in order to take some big knockouts. I personally really have been enjoying this list. It's an amalgamation of every single Palkia list you've ever seen. So that is the deck that we're going to be taking a look at today. But first, let's talk through Live and the things that have changed and the things that are improved. Thank you very much, everyone coming along. Vero, you've caught a live stream. You've done it. Absolutely. I appreciate you being here, as I appreciate everyone being here. Let me just pop the chat out here so I can actually read what's going on, because I want to make sure that I am talking to you in as reasonable a manner as I can. Thank you very much, Vero. I will try my best to put some videos up relatively soon. Toasty, hello. Nice to see you. Give a tour of the new live improvements. I will. We'll get into a game very shortly. Mr. Lime, personally, it's so annoying that I get impressed and excited for ranked in Pokemon when every other online card has had it, I assume, for real. What is going on? For years. Pokemon's always so far behind, but we love it anyway. It's actually just copied from another person, Mr. Lime, so I appreciate you jumping in and asking that same question. It is slightly behind, but it's actually perfectly fine, because the ranked ladder, first of all, takes track of your highest ranking, so that's always pretty good. And when you get to the top of Arceus Tier, 2,660 is the floor for Arceus Tier. It is not the maximum, so you can score theoretically infinite points, and all that we need is an ability to look at the ladder to see who has the most points, and we have ourselves a ranked ladder that is exactly the same as something like Hearthstone. So definitely worth investigating. Good morning from work. Hello, Yoshi. How are you? Hopefully everything's going well. Toasty, I am well today. Thank you very much for asking. I appreciate it. Alright, so let's talk about the things that are in Live that have changed. Pretty much everything on these screens is the same. Right, the Battle Pass, which I finished yesterday after stream, is pretty much the same. The big change is in-game, so we are going to jump into a game and figure it out from there. I will say this much. To all the people in chat that are students at school, please, keep yourself to Pokemon discussion. So I know that you want to talk about other stuff, but I don't. So please, be reasonable and respectful. As usual, as you would be any other place. And everyone else that's in chat, thanks for coming. I think that there's a couple of people here in the stream at the moment. I know that there is definitely a big old group of people that watched last night. We've got 30 people at the moment. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. If you do like the stream, then please leave a like. It's literally the minimum that you could do. It's the bare minimum. Where has my situation gone? Here we go. Okay, so we are still waiting a little bit of time to load into games, which I assume is still a problem with matchmaking and also the amount of players. So I'm not surprised that games are taking a long time, but in general, I don't think it's that big of a wait. In fact, when I'm not streaming, it usually happens really quickly. So, you know, we do what we can. Are there any other games that I play? Not really, at least not on stream. There's no reason to play anything else on stream. I do play lots of Football Manager and stuff, but, you know, it is what it is. Why do babies stare at me? I'm in Canada, so I'm on there too, for better and largely for worse. I disagree. I think that it's largely for the better. It's obviously got some flaws, but that's okay. We are working towards fixing them, I am sure. So I wouldn't sell it off just yet. The update's giving me a bit of hope. Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a positive. It's a step in the right direction. We've got all the pieces in place now to make this game, firstly, way better than Pokemon Online, because it's already way better than Pokemon Online. But also, as good as it possibly can be. What is your opinion on Breaking Bad? It's the exact same as it was yesterday. If you keep asking the same question, you're going to keep getting the same answer. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to watch it. I can have every card I want, but more than half the time I can't even get into a match. Well, this is a bad example because I am struggling to get onto a game as well, but I'm sure that we can get there. It's your main game with on FM. It's with at the moment Farsley Celtic, which is a weird team to be playing with. But we won the Premier League last year, so that's good. We won the Premier League. We're trying to win the Champions League. We lost to what is it, Bayern Munich in the final of the Champions League. That's usually when I stop playing Football Manager, when I win the Champions League. This is disappointing because I really just want to show off the way that the background looks. Look at that, instant. All I had to do was just log in again. I'm sure it'll be easier after the global beta rolls out. I agree. Here it is. This is it. This is what the new situation looks like, and it means that I now have time to try and figure out where the best place for me to be is. I think I am okay over here. Where are my alerts? My alerts are going to be over here. Let's get pop those like that. Alright, everything is happening. Here we go. So, there's obviously a change in the colour of the background. We don't have as much movement in the background anymore. And the background is obviously dark instead of light. We do have some changes in the speed of animation. You've probably noticed it's like they've turned the slider up to like 3 or 4 times the speed it was originally. It's going to make myself just a smidgen smaller here so you can see how many prizes I have left. There you go. So that obviously is a big improvement in that all these cards are flying around the screen way faster. You'll also notice that the cards that are in the active position are slightly bigger, which I think is a good thing. As you can see, I'm throwing these cards around pretty quickly. It's not hard to get these cards moving here. And I think that when you put into place the fact that the animations have increased in speed, the gameplay as it was already perfectly fine. I think we're in a spot where this game is pretty much ready for release. And I know that lots of people won't agree with me on that, because lots of people are negative Nellies and they don't want to see the game release ever. But I think, in all honesty, that I would be more than happy to play this game as it currently is, because it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Oh, what I didn't get this layout when you played today. It looks so sharp. If you are playing on the desktop version, then you will get it if you update. If you're playing on your phone, then it will be slightly different. So do be aware of that. Phone and iPad have not changed at the moment. I wouldn't expect them to change too soon. Too soon. Blake, if you are sitting in the chat at the moment, can you just make sure that you're cleaning bits and pieces up? I don't know if you're actually there or not. I think you are, but we'll wait and see how we're going, because chat's getting pretty annoying at the moment for people that are actually here for Pokemon, which I admit are not that many people, but we've got to do our best, don't we? Alright, what's our board look like? This is actually kind of grim here because we don't have the cards that we want to keep this game going. But we do at least have a couple of energy. We can end our turn here and leave it at that. Hopefully, this is going to be fine. Our opponent hasn't had a particularly strong start. Sitting just with a Shadow Rider Calyrex. But as you see, yes, we've got the full cards on the bench now, which was something that people were complaining about. So definitely an improvement. And also when you hover over cards, they appear on the left-hand side of the screen instead of popping in the middle of the screen, which I think is a huge win, because it means I can read what a card does whilst also watching what is happening in the game. One of the issues that Live had, and to a lesser extent PTCGO, is when you had the card popped up on the screen, you couldn't see what was happening all the time, and that makes it a little bit of an issue. But hey, that's okay. Let's jump back into the chat here. On the phone, it's faster now too. Yeah, exactly. Like everything's way faster. All the animations are just way, way faster, which I think is a good thing. All right, here we go. We've got things. We've got things to do here. So we can Irida. We can grab ourselves a Drizzile. And we can grab ourselves. Well, we don't have a bucket. That's okay. I wasn't keen on a bucket anyway. I didn't really want one. Wasn't a big priority of mine. We're going to grab a Choice Belt then. We're just going to play down a Drizzile, and we're going to grab ourselves a copy of Training Court. Bang, we can grab that, chuck that into play, grab ourselves the energy that we'll need to attach onto our Palkia, and then we will Choice Belt and attack. I think that's perfectly reasonable. We don't need to do anything else here. Our opponent's doing nothing, which is great. We'll just sit and attack and let them go. And you notice the speed with which you can play games now. I've only been playing for 2 minutes, and I'm already in a attacking board state because those animations are so quick. I would say the only animation that I don't want to be quicker is the one when you promote a Pokemon into the active, because now it's kind of almost too quick, right? New to TCG, any tips? Start live. Just open it up if you can, if you've got access to it, and play it. It's pretty good. All I'd say is your opponent's Pokemon are the wrong way, but I'm a fan. I disagree fundamentally with the way that people are talking about this, just because I know what it looks like when you get different status conditions, and I think it's way clearer for new players to understand what the card is, and it's way clearer to understand what status condition is on the card with the animations that are in the game. I understand the argument that you might want the game to be the same as it is on a tabletop, but to be brutally honest, I don't think there's any issue here at all. Mr. Lime, you're kind of going off the rails here. I'm going to ask you to not mention other games in the chat because it's going to derail conversation. We might just kick out a couple of people if we do that, because that's not what we're here for. We're here for live. That's the whole point. Got to say I'm impressed so far. Yeah, it looks good, right? The only thing I would say is that I wish the opponent's Pokemon were ever so slightly further down the screen, just because their cards kind of get covered up by your opponent's hand. Same for our Pokemon. If they were ever so slightly further up, that would be excellent. I'm also down for them to change the number font. The field is way easier on the eyes. I like it. I think it's good. I think it's easier for me to see when my mouse is clicking now as well, which I like. So I'm 100% on board for that. Yeah. I think that it's way better. I think it's way better. But like I said, there's plenty of things that can be improved. But like I love the fact that the cards glow now, so it's easier to tell what cards you haven't played. Everything happens really smoothly. There's no issues that I have seen so far. I've not had any issues when I've been playing the game. I'll tell you that much. But I've also seen some content creators have very, very minor graphical issues when they've been playing, which obviously can be a bit annoying, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm very much happy with the game in its current state, and I would not be upset, like I said, if we were made to swap over tomorrow. In fact, there's a really, really good chance that the second that it's open to global release, which appears like it's going to be at the end of this year, that I will simply migrate before PTCGO sunsets, because I don't think that there is any reason to be playing PTCGO anymore, especially after the changes that they've made to Live last night. I think that they're really, really good. I wonder if you're restricted to just the Australian server or if you can play against people in Mexico and Canada too. I think that because of the nature of the beta and the amount of players, I think that they will probably have everyone in a global server, which is probably part of the issue with their matchmaking as well. But I'm not entirely sure, to be brutally honest. When it opens up, I imagine that there will be servers like a North American server and an Oceania server and a Europe server, but I don't know. I don't know. No more flashbang when taking a prize is nice. I personally didn't mind the flash, but it is gone. It was an issue for some people. It's gone. Perfect. The Starburst around prize is still there. Can't help but cringe. Yeah, but you took a prize. It's good. Did Live release in Australia? Live is out in Australia as a limited beta random, so you can play this right now on your PC, on your on your device, whatever you want to play it on. It is there and available to you. Absolutely. What do we got here? Where's all my where's my stuff gone? All my stuff disappeared. But yeah, seems pretty good, right? When does it go live in the UK? At the moment, they said in a statement last night, our time, that they are aiming for a global release of the limited beta on the end of the year. So I would expect that everyone would be able to access the limited beta in January 2023, which is obviously still a while away. But if the response to this is positive, and they feel like the live team feel like they can put the game out in its current state, which, as I've said, I think they can, then I see no reason why they wouldn't push that timeline up, because it's obviously better for them to get into the game with more players sooner rather than later. I love the game board so much more though, and having avatars tucked away is much better. I think the fact that they've moved avatars so that they can place that floating card on the left hand side of the screen is heaps better. So like, I'm going to be able to leave my mouse on a card like this when I'm making a video, and it'll be way easier for people to tell what's actually going on, right? Like this Articuno, I can tell exactly what is going on with this card based on what's going on up here. I think it's really, really cool. Really, really cool. Alright, I'm just going to go through and ban some people here because I can see the bots are lively. I can tell you right now, they're not bots, they're children. And they've been told what's going to happen to them if they continue to do what they're doing. But they don't listen. They don't listen. They don't listen. They think that I don't know who they are, but I'm pretty sure I do. And things don't go well for people who annoy me. So I'll make that very, very clear. See, there they are down the bottom. Down the bottom. And all I need to do is wait until either the game finishes or Blake arrives, and they'll probably disappear, so I wouldn't stress too hard. It seems likely that they'll be gone very shortly. The best part is that they're just all saying the same thing as each other and making it really easy for me to tell what's going on. So it makes me even more confident that I know who they are. Alrighty, Shady Dealings. We're going to grab ourselves Irida, because Irida is the best card in this deck. We are going to play that Irida. We are going to grab ourselves another basic Pokemon. Thinking this Palkia. And I'm also going to grab, oh, I don't know, Scoop Up Net? No, I need Evolving. Let's go with that. This way, when we Roxanne our opponent, we will have access to all the cards that we need. I like this very much. Let's just, oh, I can't Roxanne. I Iridid, but that's okay. I will Roxanne next turn, and it's going to be great. New playmat looks cool. I think so too. I think it's really, really cool. I think it is really, really cool. Alright, now I've got some time. Boop. Boop. Into timeout you go. Farewell, friends. Thank you for coming. Taco, hello. I feel bad because it's pretty much my entire chat's engagement is gone for a second. But that's okay. People that actually want to talk about Pokemon are more than welcome to talk about it. Thank you very much to the 40 people who are here, by the way. I appreciate you all. If you are enjoying the stream, then please leave a like. I'd appreciate that. We will continue to do our very best Now, it weren't for the fact that I work at 2:30 AM, I wouldn't even be here. This is the thing, right, is that being in Australia is really bad to live stream at a time that's convenient for me, personally. Just means that the amount of time that I have to stream to you is much smaller. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. I'm gonna hit the Roxanne here and see what happens. Closely related to Batfish. Oh, look, it's another person that I don't need to have in chat, and who I will remove. Excellent. Bang. Let me just go like this. Bang. Goodbye. Have I had a go at the mobile version? Yes, I have. It's similar, but not so similar that it's a vastly different experience. The mobile version still has the old board, but because the mobile version is essentially just like the width of the Pokemon bench at the moment, it's not that big of a kind of a deal, because the amount of board space that you see is significantly less. I think that the mobile version plays really well. I think that it's much better than, say, PTCGO being played on a tablet. I think that it's because it's been designed that way, it is a way better feeling. But yeah, I really like live. I wanted to show it off on mobile, but it's a little bit more difficult to stream on mobile through OBS and stuff than just whacking up the game on the stream and going for it. So that's the reason that we haven't quite done that. But yeah, I think that it's good. I like it. Do I collect the physical cards? Yes, I do. I do, Taco. I do collect physical cards. I have a whole bunch. Justin, Basil, I am excited to see live on mobile. It's one place where I've yet to play myself. That said, the deck editor needs a lot of TLC. It doesn't really. The deck editor is actually quite easy to utilize. The issue is that it's different. And it looks different and it feels different. Now, personally, I would like to see the deck editor have a bit of a swap and just have the deck selector box in the small right side and the deck builder box on the left big side. And that's pretty much the only change that I'd need to see. It doesn't mean that there's not, obviously, other people that have valid opinions, but that is simply mine. I think that the deck editor is relatively intuitive, but I think that there needs to be a little bit more care in showing people how to access different arts of cards, because it shows you certain card arts by default, and sometimes you think that it's the only art that's available, which can create situations where you're thinking, oh, I can only get like a rainbow rare of this particular card. So that's my personal thought. Looks good enough to wait for January. Gonna miss TCGO, but at the same time it looks a lot better. The same as PTCGO. This feels exactly the same to me as PTCGO, just Pokemon cards. I wouldn't mind the black instead of the white on mobile for the background, but the white never really bothered me too much. Yeah, it's the same, Chris. I don't really mind. I didn't really mind at all, but, you know, it's whatever. We need to see the darker tinted hex pattern make its way to mobile too. It still looks a bit like a dentist office. Yeah, but, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. I find it really funny that everyone's like, oh, this is way better, but there's still just as much dead space. Like, look at all of this up here and over on that, on the other side of over here where my mouse is clicking. This is a mouse click zone, purely and simply. This is all you do in this area. Just click your mouse. At least over here, you can highlight a card. But like, that's the only thing that you do here. Do you get cards the same way as PTCGO, like trade packs for what you need? No, it's way better. You just get the cards you want. Right? You just get the cards that you want. It is super, super easy, and I can show you what that looks like in just a second. Because it's way, way simpler. Like, if I wanted a card to put in this deck that I didn't already have, it would take seconds to do. Alright, our opponents created a bit of a drama for us. They're doing Pokemon cards. They're attacking and doing things. At the moment, we don't necessarily have a huge amount of options, but I just don't want to get knocked out by this Articuno, so I'm not going to bench any other basics beyond this Manaphy. I am going to Melanie, though, just because I'd like to draw some cards. We have the boss for next turn. If I don't play any cards, I think I go on to win this game. So we'll just click the attack and we'll see what happens. That mummy was so much faster than it used to be. Yeah, well, like I said, I think they've just sped up every single animation. Right? I think they've literally just sped up every single animation by like a factor of 2 or 3. I genuinely think that's what the case is. Bailey Smith, nice to see you live again. I'm just surprised that live actually came out. Feels like it's been 10 years since we first discussed it. It has been a while, definitely. But it's been out in lots of places for a long time. It's been in limited beta for a year, which is a very long time for a card game to be in limited beta. But here we are. If the dead space was a pick of the stadium, well, like, I can understand why people would want, like, the background to be the stadium. I really like the plan, which they've got, which is to make the background type dependent. It's, like, based on the cards that you have in the active. So I think that's really cool. And if they split it half and half, where my side is the water side and their side is the psychic side, I think that would be perfectly fine. I think implementing stadium art would actually make the thing look worse, to be honest, because it would just be like a superimposed version of that stadium art, and I don't think that would be good. But that's my personal opinion. I would really like to see certain stadiums be imported into like actual stadiums, you know. So like maybe if you play training court, you get the court right happening over here. That would be cool. But I think their solution for the moment is really good, so I'm happy with that. Would have thought that a black background would be better for battery drain than white pump to try mobile. I would love that to be the case. I don't know if the color of the background directly impacts the amount of battery life that you get, but, you know, it's fine. Credits would definitely be the best part, without doubt. Now, any card I want with the 90k I have. Exactly. I bought, how many was it? 400 celebrations codes. And I never really have to buy cards on this game again, because I just have everything that I already need. So. And yeah, the only issue at the moment is that the hand still stays there in the windscreen. But like, if you're going to sit and complain that that's a game-breaking feature for you, then I think you have bigger problems. Blake, hello! How are you? Let's show off how we actually purchase cards here. Because that's something that I feel like lots of people are super into. Yeah, the idea behind buying the cards with in-game currency is definitely a huge improvement. Absolutely. So this is the deck building screen. We were on this screen before when we were looking at the deck. At the moment, the deck itself is on the right-hand side, along with all of the things that are required to edit it. And on the left-hand side are a series of decks. Alright, well, we can talk about all these different decks in a moment, but essentially, all these ones here that don't have a star on them, right? That don't have a star on them, are all decks that you get given for free at some point, right? So I got given this Arceus deck, this starter deck, for free, right? So that got given to me for free. All those cards in my account for free. I got all these Blissey cards for free. They just got given to me. As soon as I turned on the game, I had access to them. Same as Shadow Rider Calyrex, that particular deck that we just played against on the ladder, got given it for free. Some of them are starter decks, like Shadow Rider Calyrex. Every single person gets given them. Same as Rapid Strike. Right? Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX here. You get given this deck for free. But some of them, like this Samurott VSTAR deck, are decks that you get given on the Battle Pass. So in the first like 6 levels of the Battle Pass, you get given these kind of decks. The ones that are on the Battle Pass at the moment, Zoroark, which looks like this, very, very good. You get given 2 Crobats, that is super good. And the Arceus one that I was talking about before. So that means that if you're a brand new player and you spend a couple of days playing the game, you will have a completely playable starter Zoroark deck that you can take onto the ladder and win games with, which is fantastic. It's brilliant. It's way better than the previous system. If you want to improve your deck, like for example, say that I want to put in a card that I don't have, if we jump into Edit Deck, it shows us exactly the same as Pokemon Online, all the cards that we have access to. Now, by default, it sorts them by alphabetical order, which I, don't think is the preferable way to do it for me personally. I prefer to sort by expansion, so that's what we'll do. Now, you can also set it up so that you show all of the cards that you have, the owned cards, or just the cards you don't have. I think clicking all cards is good, because then you can just see every single card. This is every single card in the game. Right? I know how many copies I have. I know how many I don't have. I don't know why I have 6 of certain cards. That's obviously an issue, a bug, because you're not supposed to be able to have more than 4. But that's beside the point. But regardless, let's say I wanted to add in a card that I don't have access to at the moment. And by the way, all the cards that I have, every single one of these cards has been acquired for free. I have not put any codes in that are from any set other than Celebrations. So every single card that I've got here, every single one has just been played. Like, I've played and got them, right? So they've just been opened in packs that I got on the ladder or something like that. But let's just say, for whatever reason, I want to put this Barbarical into my deck. I obviously click the plus button here, and it moves across into the deck section. But it has this little red circle on it. It means that I don't have access to the card. If I want, I can click Exchange, spend 425 credits, confirm the exchange. I will have that card forever on my PTCG Live account for 425 credits. Now, I've got 230,000 from those from those Celebrations codes, so you won't have them by default, but usually you get given something like 5,000 at the beginning of the game, or something similar. I can't remember exactly how many it is. But let's go to a card that's not a rare, because right, Barbaricals are rare, and we're not going to put Barbarical in this deck anyway. So let's take it out. We go to the trainers section, and we look for a trainer card that we might actually consider putting in here. Again, sort by expansion. Make sure that we have access to all of them. If I go looking down here for a card that I want, like Damage Pump, for example, I already have 4 Damage Pumps, I think. Yes, I have spare ones. So essentially the way that works is it's saying I have 4 available copies of Damage Pump. If I put the 2 in that are in the deck by default, I have 2 more available copies of Damage Pump. That's what's happening there. Let's look for a card that I don't actually have a copy of. Here we go. I want to put in this copy of Blanche. Blanche? I want to put Blanche into my deck. Hit the plus button. There they are, down the bottom. If I want to exchange it and get it, I click on the button. It's an uncommon. It's worth 100 credits. I click Confirm Exchange. This little glitchy animation that hasn't been finalized yet happens, and then I have a copy of Blanche. And I never have to get that copy ever again. It will be on my account until the time of, like, the server's shutting down. You get it forever. 100 credits is nothing. The real money is in cards that are ultra rares. So, for example, the Palkia deck that we were just playing in. This Palkia here is worth, I can't remember, something like 1,200 or something like that. Let's just go for Palkia here. We'll just search Palkia and we'll find out for sure. Because I have 3 copies, I could add an extra one to the deck, exchange and get it. It's worth 1,000. There you go. So it's worth 1,000 gems. So obviously the more powerful cards, you have to spend more credits on. But once you have one of those cards, right, you never have to get them ever again. You don't trade them for anything, right? But you never have to worry about losing them or accidentally trading them away in some dumb trade that you didn't mean to accept. And if you see another card that you can like, then you can just add that to your collection. You just spend the extra credits and you get it. And when the next set comes out, you get a whole brand new battle pass. They'll have a whole brand new bunch of cards on it. So if I scroll all the way back across to the left, go to the start, check out this little Arceus theme deck that comes with the game on the battle pass. Next time the battle pass updates, which is in 4 weeks from now, there will be a new premium battle pass reward that at the start will give me an Arceus deck, and will also give me a Zoroark deck, or equivalent, right? So every single time the Battle Pass updates, I get given free cards. I don't understand how anyone can not like this. I think that it is an incredibly easy decision to make for new players. You should play Pokemon Live. Let's jump across to the chat just for a second, and catch back up, because I have missed out on what is going on. When the newest set comes out, I just get the cards I want and start playing the newest stuff immediately. It's fantastic. Exactly. And if you do want to put in some codes, maybe you go to the game store and you buy a couple of packs. Maybe you buy a box. Maybe you do what I do and you buy a couple of 100 codes because you want to make sure that you get everything that you want. You're going to have access to enough credits to get the things that you want anyway. So that's really, really good. Now, I saw Justin say that he's worried about the validity of using the card purchase system once the celebration card exploit, quote unquote, has been patched, or once you've exhausted those coins. That is perfectly reasonable. I don't want to go through every single one of these tiers to figure out exactly how much currency you get given, but as you can see in these grayed out like ticked boxes, at almost every single level of the battle pass you get some amount of credits. It's usually low, it's like 25 credits or something like that, but over time that obviously builds up, and the fact that you can play competitively without spending any credits at all, because like you get given 4/4 Zoroark, right, or at least 4/3 Zoroark, but you get given another Zoro here, you get given a Zoroark VSTAR here, you get given another Zoroark VSTAR here. So you get access to a 4/4 line of that VSTAR. If you are the type of person that's just happy to play Pokemon, you don't need to spend any of your credits. You just got the deck, right, which is really, really good. If you are the type of person that wants to spend credits, then I think the one thing that does need to be improved is the cost of buying expansions in the shop. At the moment, it costs 1,120 gems to purchase 6 packs of the latest booster set, plus 350 coins. That's the best value in the store at the moment. For reference, 1,120 gems is 50%, or it's 100% more than it costs to unlock the Premium Battle Pass. Premium Battle Pass is 600 gems. You get given 510 at the start of the game. It takes you 2 days to buy the Premium Battle Pass because you get 60 gems a day from your daily challenges. That means that you can buy the daily Battle Pass Premium Edition, whatever you want to call it, after 2 days of playing. It costs twice as much to just buy packs online. I think that they need to rework the pricing of these to make them a little bit cheaper, or they need to make gems easier to come by, or you need to be able to purchase gems. Those are the 3 solutions for me. They've set it up like they're going to. I don't know whether they're going to. Depends what I mean. You have 6 of some cards as they're the different styles, so you can have, if you have gold, it would be more. Yes, so exactly. So you can have, and this is another potential issue that we see, right? So Palkia has more than one art. If I have 4 copies of one art and pull another art, then it doesn't give me coins. I would really love to see them implement a system like other card games where I can elect to dust cards, as in I can elect to turn cards into credits. That would instantly solve their problem. Instantly. Because it means that everyone can get every card that they want. I think that's fantastic. Hope they remove the 400 pack limit when it goes out of beta. They won't, but it's not a 400 pack limit as far as I'm aware. I think it's 400 packs worth of cards, and then after that you just get the credits. That's my understanding. Just smashed Masters in a Cerebro Neuron Snap. Nice. You had me sold on it a while ago. I have a mighty need. It's good, right? It's really good. So is Battle Pass paid, or is it just the new ladder? It is just the new ladder. So the way it works is you unlock the Battle Pass, the basic Battle Pass, by logging into the game. Tier 0, logging into the game, 7 packs of Lost Origin, that's 60 card Zoroark theme deck, quote unquote, plus 1,200 credits. You get that for logging in. The premium one is paid, but it costs gems, which you get enough of within 2 days to unlock the Premium Battle Pass. And it is a no-brainer, because you get 550 gems for completing the Battle Pass, which means that you're effectively, for these 50 levels, if you are expecting to play all 50 levels of the Battle Pass, you are paying 50 gems for Arceus VSTAR or the equivalent deck, whatever it is that you're putting, whatever's on that particular path at the time. So it's really, really good value. If I was new to the game, this is awesome, but why about trading? I like that bit. Yeah, well, I can understand that, but trading leads to a couple of problems, and I'll talk about those right now because they are important. Firstly, and I know that some people don't like me talking about new players, but I will talk about them till the cows come home. New players do not understand how much their cards are worth, and they do not understand how the trading system works. The trading system on PTCGO is not very good. It's just not. And it means that new players come on, they might pull a card that's very valuable and trade it for nothing. Or they might sit there for ages trying to pull off a trade that's just never going to happen. Now, I can understand you might want to trade with your friends in order to give each other cards that you don't have. And that is a feature that I will miss, because I do like trading cards that I have extra copies of to people that I know so that they can play those decks as well. But the idea is that it's so easy to get those cards in the first place that it's not unreasonable for everyone to just be able to do it themselves. Now, we don't know what that's going to look like going forward. I don't know what the experience is going to be for people who come in and don't spend money at all. That is why on the channel at some point in the future I'm planning on doing a completely free-to-play series where I just go through and play the game without spending money, any codes, nothing like that, just the cards I get from the ladder. And I think that it's very possible to get to Arceus Tier with just those cards. Definitely very, very possible. So that is obviously something that's a bit frustrating, but by removing trading, you remove the ability for people to scam you on the game. You remove the ability for people to be able to buy digital cards as well. Like, I can't believe that it happens, but people will sell you a PTCGO card on eBay, right? Can't do that anymore. So you remove an entire criminal side of the game that shouldn't exist. And you remove a barrier for entry for new players, which I think is really good. That's my personal opinion. Can't migrate when I'm playing Team Challenge, also not officially available in my country yet. That is an issue. Wait until the end of the year. Team Challenge, the only reason that Team Challenge is on online instead of live is because everyone complained. Time to bury my wallet before it buries me. That's insanely good. I know, right? It's just really good. How am I enjoying PTCGL so far? Shani, I am enjoying it quite a lot. We're going to play some more optimal Palkia. We'll see how we go, Chief Gaming. We'll see whether or not we can actually get a game here. This is another issue that does come up. Do you still scan in code cards from booster packs? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. I have a ton of them sitting around. You can just scan them in. And it's exactly the same as on PTCGO, except instead of holding onto the packs, you just open them straight away. Right? And there's a limit of 400, but that's fine. Is it still on beta? Yes, it is. It will be in global beta by the end of the year based on the notes from the execs at Pokemon thingamajig.com, whatever it's called, wherever the link is. Blake, if you're still here and can find the link to the actual conversation, like the letter, then that would be fantastic. Update yesterday says that they're rolling out to more regions in the next few weeks. Hopefully the UK will get it soon so I don't have to use a VPN. I don't know what regions they're going to be. I would expect that those regions would be smallish so that they can control the amount of data that's coming in, because that's what they're doing, right? Is they're capturing data and seeing how people actually play the game so that they can improve the areas that people actually use. How long does matchmaking usually take? Depends on the day. Because of the smallish player base and the fact that I'm in Australia, it can take a couple of minutes sometimes. Sometimes it's instantaneous. I'll often find that when I'm playing against people that I know, they just kind of pop up all the time. Just appear in my situation, and it's very frustrating. The matchmaking is kind of great player matched with a master. This is the thing though, Santos, is that it's really hard to provide matchmaking when there's no players. Right? We're in a limited beta, so the pool is already very small, plus all the big YouTubers told everyone that the game was terrible. So it means that they have to find games, because if there's no games, then there's no way for them to actually figure out what's going on. So you need to have some kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? You need to have some limit, right? Something that you compromise in the early game. And at this stage, they're compromising matchmaking in order to provide a match for people to play. And I would rather play a player that is way under my skill level or a player that's way over my skill level than not play at all, which is unfortunately the alternative. So that's again, that's my opinion. But it's a pretty reasonable one, I think. I would rather play games than not play at all. Hey, that's Mitch from the Sableyes. How's the stream going? It's going pretty well, Triple B TCG. It's going pretty well. I'm very, very happy with the way Pokemon Live is. I was happy with it before. And now, it's effectively just PTCGO. Except now I can do this with my hand. Woo! Ghost Hand! Ghost Hand moves the things around. Ooh, pinging the screen. This is the thing that's happening, right? Is that sometimes the image will pop in. You probably didn't even see it, right? Sometimes the image will pop in like the old thing where it's a little box, and then you click on it and it becomes a card, and it's never seen again, right? So here you go. That's actually nice. Codes will probably be cheaper without trading. Exactly! It's better for everyone. And these corporations that make thousands of dollars off of people like you and me selling a product that isn't theirs won't have the ability to do it. Oops, well it's clear I'm not getting work done today, seeing this is now getting me excited for the game. Exactly! And that's what it should be. Everyone should be excited for it. It's really good. I think that it's really good. Ghost Hand is a major selling point. Absolutely. Spooky giving me the jeebies. Oh man, we've been mining into an absolute dud of a hand here. Animations feel a bit hectic. What do people want? I know that this is not a jab, but everyone's been complaining for the last 6 months about how the animations are so slow. And then 2 seconds into the update of the game, well, these animations are too quick. I appreciate it. I appreciate it though. I think there is a middle ground somewhere, but I just find that quite funny. Alrighty, we need to get some cards out of this. We've got to get some cards out of this. We'll do our best. Headed off though, bud. Saw you were on. Wanted to say hi. Have a great stream. I will do my very best. Thank you for coming past. I appreciate you, mate. Appreciate you as always. Let's see. How many energies do I have in the discard pile? 2. That's a good amount of energies to have in the discard pile. We're going to retreat into our friend Johnny Palkia. And at the moment we're doing 200 damage. Now 200 damage isn't quite enough. But you know what? I'm going to go for it regardless. I'm going to go for a Drizzile here, and then that Drizzile is going to grab me an Irida for next turn. I do want to play this game for longer than 5 minutes, so we'll make sure that we have a supporter for later. I'm also going to attach these energies in a bit of a skew-whiff way if you don't know what's going on. I'm going to attach a couple to Palkia here, and I'm going to attach one to Drizzile. Now the reason for that is I want to make sure that I have access to an Inteleon attacker if I want one, because I'm not going to be taking a knockout on this one. I might Sharon and replace the Arceus in the active, and that's fine. It means that they're not attacking this turn. But I want to have the option to attack with that one prizer just in case. Make my opponent's life as difficult as possible. Morning from the UK. Hensuka, thank you very much for coming past. I appreciate you. eBay really cheap for code cards? It is, but it takes a long time to get code cards, right? If you're looking for a code card on eBay, you buy it, and then it'll take like a couple of weeks to get to you, depending on how things go. But you know, I wouldn't want to wait weeks to play. I'd want to play. That's the thing, right? Animations look pretty good now. They could turn off the shuffling noises down a bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of awkwardness on the way the animation sounds work at the moment. But you know, I'm sure that it'll get better as they balance it out. Honestly, the amount of noise that a card shuffle makes is not the biggest issue that they could be dealing with. So I appreciate that. There's an option. Alright, we are going to go for a Shady Dealings. One of the cards that I'm grabbing is going to be Cross Switcher, because I already have one in hand, and I desperately need that. I also feel like a good card to get is going to be a level ball. That will allow me to go for another Drizzile at some point. Grab some water energy as well. We can attach one of those to our friend Johnny Palkman, and then we can Cross Switcher, bring that Pikachu into the active. And then promote our own Palkia, and it looks like we're going to be able to take a knockout here, which we will. Again, I'm going to level ball, I'm going to grab a Drizzile, and then we will get ourselves another Irida. Because Irida is very, very good. It's a good supporter in this deck. I don't know if you've noticed this. That card is it's a good card. A very good card. We'll click the button, take the knockout, see you later, Flying Pikachu. This game became a lot easier just then. Because now we've got a damaged Arceus, and we don't have to deal with a powerful Flying Pikachu VMAX. Where are we? How can I play this? Blues Rock 99 if you are in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, France, Italy, or Germany? Then you can download it from the Pokemon website right now and play the limited beta. If you are not from any of those countries, you can use a VPN or you can wait until the end of the year. Those are your two options. But in general, it's pretty good. I really like it. Is live open to the public yet, or is it still a beta release? It's a beta still. It's still a beta. But, you know, it's a beta in the same way that, you know, they release, like, betas of completed games, because it's done. This game is done. It's as simple as that. The game's done. It's finished. We want for nothing. We want for nothing. Irida's such a great card. Dude, it's cracked. This deck's insane. Like, I've gotten to Arceus Tier. This will be my second time when I get there. And it is absolutely crickety crack how insane this deck is. They're going to boss out the Palkia. I'm A-okay with that happening. Going to knock out this Arceus, then I'm going to knock out this Lumineon. It's a lovely Lumineon. Look at that hovering over my head. I think that's a really good feature. I like that a lot. Be able to use that when I'm talking about cards. We want for one thing, the full release. Exactly. If only we had the full release of this game. And you know what? We'll get it pretty soon. Because the only reason it hasn't come out yet is because everyone has been... Well, not everyone. Some individuals have been incredibly upset about this game. All they need to do is just chill out and it'll be fine. I'm probably going to get Roxanne now that I'm thinking about it. What's my board going to look like when I get Roxanne? What I'd really love for it to look like is I'd love for it to look like two Drizzles. So I'm going to Drizzle and I'm going to grab Scoopy Doopy Net as well. We'll see how that goes. And it seems counterintuitive, but we're going to go for it because what we want to do is we want to make sure that we've got as many outs to an actual card that we want as possible. Now, we can't get rid of the Battle Pass. None of these cards are particularly good. I'm going to grab Palpad here, and then we're going to scoop up this Inteleon. I know that I said I wanted to have Inteleon as a card that I have access to, but you know what? I would rather have access to it later than right now. If our hand stays the same, which I should never have said, we'll win the game next turn. So we'll just take a knockout here. See how we go. Looks pretty good. Looks like we're in a good situation. Looks like we're keen for a big win here. Grabbing that boss's orders is also very nice. Also very, very nice. That animation one, the attacks looks awesome. I know, it looks way better. It used to just be like a poof, but now it's actually like a thing, which I think is good. I remembered when people slandering Irida as a bad card. Irida has always been a good card. It's like Karina from back in the day. It's always a good card. I think the biggest flaw of PTCGL is the non-smooth corners on the card. If that's the biggest flaw this game has, I think we're fine. I think we're okay. If that's the biggest issue that people are having, I reckon we should be okay. Just trust me on this one. I reckon we're good. Is in your top 10 ASR list near the top, behind Greninja and Palkia VSTAR. Well, it turns out that all of these cards are actually pretty good together. I think that I win. I think that I just need to make sure that I don't make a dumb play. So we're going to Drizzile, we're going to grab an Evolution Incense, and we're going to grab a Inteleon, because we need more than one... Oh, actually, no, we can just boss, can't we? That's it. I was going for the cross switcher. I just realized that I unprized the boss. It's literally what I was talking about 2 seconds ago. We can just grab the boss and win the game. So, let's just do that. What do you reckon? Just grab the boss and win the game. Seems like a pretty good way to go about it. There you go. Game of PTCGL. Took less time than a game of PTCGO. All of the nice little animations are happening quickly. Everything's good. This hand's still here. I can't play this Inteleon, but that's okay. They'll fix that. It's not an issue. And look at all this stuff. Now, I will tell you what all of this stuff does, by the way. These are coins. You use them to buy cosmetic items. This is experience. This levels up your character level, or trainer level. These are Battle Pass points. They will increase your level on the Battle Pass. These are your ranked ladder points. They increase your ranked ladder thingamajig. So I got 20 points on the ranked ladder, and that'll push me in 2,400? 2,380. 2,380. I think that's about how I am, yeah. So here's the ladder. We're almost at Arceus. We've got 300 more points to go. We're just going to keep cramming away. So if you've got any more questions, feel free to ask. But otherwise, we are sitting here. We're going to play some Palkia. We're going to try and get some games. That's the key. And if you want to get yourself in a video, there's every chance that you can do that if you become a member. There's a link down below in the little thing, and you can click it. It's like $3 if you want. And also, you can gift memberships now on YouTube, which I didn't realise. So that's a great way for other people to pay for your membership. What do you get? Cool emotes. That's pretty much it. I reckon I'll just throw out those emotes now so that you can see what they are. They're not quite as relevant as they used to be, but look at those. There's a bunch of emotes. They're pretty nice. They are pretty good. They are pretty good. But yeah. I might just... I've not clicked this button before. Should I click the run and ad button? What does this do? I don't understand. Are you on an ad right now? Can you see an ad? Are you seeing an ad? I don't know. I may have just put you into an ad. I don't know. Some people may have gone to an ad. Let's see. Is it in an ad? I wouldn't know. Nah. It might be because we have ad block on. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. I'm going to sit back and relax. Wait and see how we go. Yep, ads, sorry. Sorry. YouTube sent me a button. I was like, oh, I can click this button. They wanted me to show you an ad. What was the ad for, Hensuka? Out of curiosity. What did you see over there in sunny England? Time to sleep, have a good stream, even better matches. If I can find some noodle soup, I will do my very best. Thank you for coming along. I appreciate it. Here is a game. Lee 20 is in. Maybe because I'm a mod. Maybe. Good point, actually. Good point. Alright, time to go first. We've got ourselves a game. Lee 20 is going to take on the Palk. This is why I prefer YouTube to Twitch. YouTube Premium removes ads for every stream. Absolutely. Way better than Twitch, dude. Yogurt. It was Crunchyroll for me, but it was skippable. Thank goodness. 5 seconds and you're out. I didn't realize I had the power to do that. I actually make some money doing this. I put an ad every 30 minutes. Make you watch 5 seconds of an ad. The algorithm has taken over your ads. They just told me that they were like, you can run an ad. And I was like, should I click the button? Should I click the button? I should click it, right? Look at that. Shuffle straight in. Give me the hand. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Incredible stuff. You lingered, Mark. Lingered on anime, so you got Crunchyroll ads. Alright, we're playing against Zoroark. Our hand is trash bags, but at the very least, we are not going to get knocked out next turn. And we also have double the Palkia, double the fun. If we top deck a Palkia, we're actually attacking next turn, which is pretty impressive. But we do need some extra cards. I don't like the fact that the Sobble in the Active is the only card I've got access to. Also, look, it's like in high definition. Sobble's in HD, baby. HD Sobble. HD Hisuian Zoroark V. Ain't getting that on PTCGL. That Gapejaw Bog looked a little bit low res, but you know what? Talking about Pokemon TCG live positively on Twitter is not a walk in the park. It's been a little bit difficult. It's definitely been difficult. Is global release realistic this year? Yes, it is. They could release this game tomorrow and force everyone to migrate, and it would operate perfectly fine. Now, they won't. They're not going to do that. But I think that it is perfectly realistic to expect this game to come out in full this year. They are definitely releasing a limited beta worldwide at the end of this year. Right, so it's definitely happening. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. Like if they came to me, if they said, "Hey Mitch, we know that you as a relatively small YouTuber, we know that you've got a lot of pull and a lot of sway in the community. Do you think it would be worth us releasing this game?" I think that I'd just say, yeah, probably just do it. It'll be easier just to get it over and done with. They say they intend to release the closed beta worldwide by the end of the year. Yeah, exactly. I'd expect that by Christmas time, everyone should be able to play this. If not New Year's, if not in the New Year's, then it would be very, very early in 2023. Alright, top deck Palkia or any other card that's useful to play. Irida is my preference. Thank you very much. Level ball is Irida. We are playing the game. So, we are going to throw the Drizzle into the active. We are going to use the Shady Dealings ability to grab a copy of Irida. We are going to throw the Irida onto the bench. We're going to grab ourselves a copy of Radiant Greninja and a copy of Evolution Incense. That seems perfectly fine. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to grab ourselves a copy. Ooh, we could get Palkia and Scoop Up Net and guarantee that we have access to it. Oh, no, but I think I need to... I'm going to go for the Greninja. I think the Greninja is a better play because we can high roll off the Greninja and take a knockout off this Zoroark here. So we're going to search for the Palkia first. We do need access to that card. We are then going to use concealed cards, discard an energy and draw 2. Double Quick Ball. Why is that enough? Is that going to give me 210 damage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100 plus 60, 160. 200! If one of these Pokemon is a Zigzagoon, I take a knockout on this Zoroark, right? Correct? Correct? Correct. We have 1 energy in the discard pile. We now have a 2nd energy in the discard pile. We grab Zigzagoon. I hope I've done this maths right. If I've not done this maths right, then please berate me in the chat. Quick Ball coming down. We're going to grab a Sobble because we definitely need more cards than this. Throw that onto the bench. We're going to use Star Portal. Let me use Star Portal, please. You're freaking me out. We're going to get the 2 energy out of the discard pile. We're going to attach 1 to the active. We're going to attach 1 to the Palkia. We are going to click Subspace Swell. 200 damage. Knock out the only threat on the board. Palkia's busted. It's busted deck. Deck's insane. Shouldn't be allowed. Finds the Roxanne. That's irrelevant. We're just going to top deck another Drizzle anyway. It's going to be fine. That was crazy. That was a really, really good turn. Feeling pretty happy with that. That's the type of hand that your opponent just scoops on straight away because that should not have happened in the manner that it did. Our opponent has nothing for at least a turn. Live Azul are alright, not missing out on heaps except exchanging. Yep. In that case, why would you not play it? Because the only thing that PTCGO has instead of exchanging cards for credits is trading, which is just worse. So why would you not play it? That's my point of view. That's my point of view. There's no reason, if there's no difference between PTCGL and PTCGO, then play live for sure. Is it available now? It's available in Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Canada, Germany, Italy, France. If you are in one of those places, then it's available for you. If you're not in one of those places, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not available to you. So you'll need to wait. But definitely worth investing in. We are going to go for a Drizzle here. I'm going to scoop up Net as well so that I can utilize another Drizzle next turn. We're going to go through and grab ourselves a Capacious Bucket, which will allow us to at least attach some energy, possibly draw a couple of cards as well with the Greninja on the bench. Oh, I clicked too early. Oh my god! Okay. This is something that only matters to people who have played live before. In the old days, yesterday. If you accidentally clicked on a card like this, you used to have to go across to this X in the top right corner and click the X in order to get the card off of the screen. So this X in the top corner that you can see bouncing around. I didn't realise, but they've made it that you can click anywhere. You can't see my mouse, but I can just click off of the card. It's perfect. The game's perfect. There are no issues with this game. I can click off the card. It's brilliant. How are you not playing the Lost Mine Sableye deck? It's really hard to play that deck whilst talking to chat. I'll say that. It is really, really hard to play that deck whilst talking to chat. Is PTCG Live better than PTCGO? I think that it is. I think that it's got a big future. People will continue to play with it. It will improve, whereas PTCGO won't. I think that it is definitely really good. Trading card is part of trading card game. Yeah, well, you can trade cards. Yeah. I will trade you this choice belt. You can have this if you form a different opinion. Can I scroll through cards with the mouse wheel yet? Do you mean like in my hand, Justin? Because I don't know what you mean. I've never done that on PTCGO ever, so I don't know what that means. Will it include PvE events like Duel Links? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. Possibly. Nobody actually trades cards in Pokemon though in real life. They sell and buy. Just like this. PTCGO, they just sell and buy them as well. Wow, it looks so much better. They really heard the community. I know, it looks great. I don't think that it looked too much... Oh, like during deck search. Okay, I will look. I will try. I never did that on PTCGO. I always used to click anyway. So, I think that's what I used to do. I can't remember what I used to do. I didn't scroll. I never mouse scrolled. So I will look into that as soon as we get into a game and I get a deck search. What's with Expanded? That's the way to do it. Well, I don't know. Is that serious? Have I just not... Have I not noticed that that's a thing that I do on PTCGO? Have I played this game for 10 years and I've never noticed that I'm scrolling? Is that true? Is that genuinely true? Am I being trolled here? What's going on with the Expanded? It's limited to Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon only, absolutely. But it's not necessarily being supported straight away. It will come later, but it's definitely not the game the game that everyone plays. Therefore, they're not going to focus on it right now. Still trading in PTCGO since buying packs cheap and getting the cards I need. Yeah, but you can get the cards you need on live, and it's even cheaper. I don't understand. I don't understand. The cards are cheaper on PTCGO. And it takes less time. You just get them. You just click the button and you get them. You hacker man, how are you in the 2400 ELO? Hey, I just played a lot of Pokemon, my dude. Have they added private battles yet, or are they hidden? I can show you them. They are there. You can play against your friends, absolutely. No trolling. I have played Pokemon online for 10 years. Or at least since it's come out. I didn't realise that I was using the scroll wheel ever in my entire life. I never realised I was scrolling. We can find out though. We'll click the button. We'll click the search button and we'll find out. Many people detest change. They do. And they shouldn't. Because this... is good. Is good! I don't know where I'm going first or second. I wasn't paying attention. I should have been paying attention. Playing against Zoroark again. $80 once also gets you way further than any amount of money on codes for PTCGO. Absolutely. If I spent $80 worth of codes on PTCGO, I could get maybe one playable VSTAR line. If I don't know, what's the word that I'm looking for? If I spent $80 on PTCG Live, I can get 200,000 credits. Did I test the PTCGL mobile yet? Yes, I did. I've played it. It's very, very easy to play. Super, super simple. Not hard at all. Definitely would recommend. We're just gonna leave it. This is pretty average, but it's achievable. We can work with it. 2 days in a row. I know, it's wild. Okay, if I wanted a 4-line of Power Pad and I didn't have any, how would I go about getting that? Like, how is it easier to do that? Well, you'd go into your deck builder, you'd click 4 Power Pad and put them into your deck. You'd click exchange, and you'd trade 400 credits for 4 Power Pads. It is instant. I can show you again if you like, because we did that a little earlier. It is so simple, it's ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't be allowed, it's that simple. I feel like I've just heard my wife come home. Alex, is that you? Hello, how are ya? It was. Yes, I am still on stream, but I just wanted to double check that someone strange hadn't just walked into the house. It's you? Hello. Love you. Gonna have dinner? Sounds good. Alright, I'll let you know when I'm done. Okay, see ya. It's pretty cool. Absolutely, it's very cool. Derpatronics come in. Negative opinion straight up. I appreciate that. This is what they come back with after the first failure. Not sure if it's any better. It looks fine, my guy. It looks fine. Jack Hollis, thank you very much for becoming a member. If you want to become a member, you can get your name up on the screen as well. It's super, super easy. You click the button down below and you get a whole bunch of different emotes. If you remember, feel free to share those emotes right now in order to welcome our friend to the family. Grab Irida here. As long as it plays well, that's all that matters, dude. It plays super, super easily. It's like butter at the moment. The only issue that we have had today is a slight matchmaking problem where every now and then it's hard to find a game. So I would 100% recommend playing it. Because look at it, look at how quick it is. It's just like impossibly fast. Right? It's very smooth, very cool, very easy, very good game. Get the very cool Pokemon. Put the very cool Pokemon in the active. Use the very cool attack to deal a very cool amount of damage and take a very cool amount of prizes. That's what it's all about. That is what it is all about. And look, it's, you know, it used to be that it would take a little bit longer for you to get a game, and it would take a little bit longer for you to play a turn. But the animation increased speed has drastically improved the way that this game plays. I really, really like it. I have played for 1.5 minutes. I've taken 2 prizes. I'm set up. Very, very cool. Looks like they've done away with the long-winded animations. Yes, they have. They've essentially just increased the speed of animations by like 3 times. Everything's just way faster. You can see everything's moving around way quicker. I think PTCGL still has some room for improvement, but it's already much better than I last saw it. Exactly. It does have room for improvement, but we've got to give them time to improve it, right? You've got to actually play the game in order to get that improvement. And this is way, way better than what I assumed the game was when I started playing it a few weeks ago. So I've been playing this for 4 or 5 weeks. I've not been putting out any content on it because I wanted to make sure that I had a really clear understanding of what the game was before I did that. And I can say without reservation that this game is essentially just PTCGO, but in high definition, and with the potential to get way better. Because all of the things are in place for us to be able to have a ranked ladder where you can compare yourself to the top players in the world, or a crafting system where you can scrap cards that you already have in order to get more. So all of those things are in place. They just need to make sure that the bugs are gone. Most of them are. Right? We've not had a single one as we've been streaming tonight. Not a single one yesterday either. They don't exist in the number that you think they do. Release the game to more players. Matchmaking will fix itself a little bit more. Brilliant. Brilliant. It's incredible. Do you rank up faster with a win streak? No, you don't. You always earn a consistent amount of points, I believe, but I'm not sure whether or not they're going to implement it in a slightly different way going forward. Like, it could potentially change the way it is. So I'm not sure. We have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see. Alright, well, you need to find Melanie now. It's a little bit disappointing that Melanie is now required. But we've at least got the opportunity to attack here. We're going to throw the Greninja in the active, just because I've got the Cross Switcher. We've got access to cards if we need them. Is there any way for me to search to get any extra access to cards? I don't think so. I'm going to concealed cards here. We're going to discard 1 energy and find something. We got the wrong Inteleon. That makes my life way more difficult. This game just became very hard to win. So the question becomes, do I hold the energy in order to try and conceal cards? Or do I attach the energy with the idea being that I'm going to attack next turn? I think I attach. And then I need to make a decision about whether or not I'm going to use a level ball or not to grab a Sobble. I could grab the Sobble. I think I will grab the Sobble. The issue here is that I have nothing in my hand. I'm not happy about this particular board state, but I'm going to have to just leave it as it is. There's also a world where maybe I use Quick Shooting Inteleon to ping this Zoroark for 20 more damage and make it easier for my Palkia to take a knockout next turn. If I play this here though, it means that if I top deck Inteleon, my game is over. So instead I'm just going to pass. We're just going to leave this Greninja in the active and hope for the best. So my background doesn't look like yours. Is it possible that I have an older version or do indeed to play a ranked game? Let me try. Probably best to update, Tom. If you update your client, you'll probably see it. If you're on mobile, though, it'll still be the old background. When it comes to playboard options at the moment, they are limited to just this, but there is going to be animation change that happens relatively soon. I keep forgetting to search my deck and scroll the wheel. I'm sorry. They've yet to monetize live at all, so I'm not sure why that's much of a concern. Yeah, they wouldn't. There's no monetary stuff at all. So yeah, there's no issues there at all. From my point of view, again, from my point of view. Oh, do items like Level Ball not allow you to see your entire deck now? You can just toggle it, yeah. And that's what I think Blake would sit down and buy. You can just toggle it. I'll show you next time. I've just been whiffing on showing you. I'm on mobile, going to desktop. Yeah, go to desktop, because mobile is still the same. Because the thing that we need to remember is that live is not a simulator of the card game. That's the big one. Live is not a simulator of Pokemon. It is an arcade version, right? We're playing the game quickly, or at least we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be having a much more arcadey type experience. And I think that's ultimately better. Alright, again, I'm going to promote this Drizzile here, because I do have access to Cross Switcher. I'm hoping that I draw into a card that's useful. It was not a card that's useful. You know how I mentioned that the game becomes very hard now? It's just become even harder. I'm going to cross switcher the Gengar out. Oh, I shouldn't put the Palkia in the active. If I put the Sobble in the active, then we top deck a Drizzile next turn for sure. If I put the Palkia in the active, he retreats and knocks it out. But I think if either of these Pokemon get knocked out, I lose anyway. So we're going to put the Palkia in the active, because it is by far the most threatening card to be in the active. We then want to find an Inteleon next turn, so that we can attach and knock out a benched Pokemon. We also need to set up another benched Pokemon, so it's probably unlikely, but the only way that we win this game is if Palkia's in the active, so we're going to leave that there. Down energy. That's not going to be enough to get them a knockout, nor can they retreat with a psychic energy. We'll wait and see what they choose to do. We'll go for a trade with Liepard. Go through some more cards. There is theoretically a world where I win with a deck out here, but that is not going to do the job. This is a loss ladies and gentlemen, so we get to see what happens when you lose, because I'm yet to lose this afternoon. Unfortunate, but it's the way that it goes. Zoroark is a very difficult deck to deal with if you miss a beat. So, like, I feel really comfortable with Palkia if I take a, oh, look at that, I've got a Roxanne, that's cool. There's the thumbs up. I'll give him a big smile. Or Roxanne, but there's no way that we are going to go on to win this game here. It's incredibly unlikely. So yeah, we'll just play the cards down. We'll just let it take the knockout because there's no point in wasting time. But yeah, Zoroark is an incredibly powerful deck when it lets itself get set up, and it got set up. We'll just keep calling and put these Sableyes that I never got access to on the bench just so he knows that they were there. And we'll move on with our life. Big smiles. Thumbs up to you, my friend. You have a good day. There we go. Needed more than the top deck on that one, but that's alright. Relatively difficult defeat, but that's okay. I do want them to get rid of this hand down the bottom. That's so annoying. I'm trying to talk to how good the game is, and then just like, oh yeah, oh, there's just a hand down the bottom of the screen. But yeah, I think we're going to leave the actual gameplay there for today, because it's been about an hour and a half. I think you've all earned a bit of a break from me. Thank you very much to the 55 people that are currently in chat for hanging around. I do appreciate it, because I know that it can be difficult, but we do want to show off how we deal with friend battles. So, if I go to my profile from home, that's down here in the bottom corner on the top left, go to your profile. This is where you can customize your outfit by buying hats, etc. But if you click on the friends button and you have friends added, you'll be able to see which friends are online and which are off. And if I wanted to play a game with Nobby1369, who is currently present, I would simply click on that, click challenge a friend, and then I'd be playing him. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. The game is fine. I think it's better than PTCGL, PTCGO, sorry. I didn't think that it was better. I thought it was about the same yesterday. Now I think it's better. And I might just migrate, to be brutally honest, because there's no reason to play PTCGO anymore. That game is dead to me. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've seen. I am going to desperately try and put together some videos for you, including how to upgrade some of these decks that you get given for free so that you are able to win more easily on the standard ladder on Pokemon TCG Live. If you've enjoyed it, please like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support me by monetarily providing, then you can jump in and offer a membership as well. $3 a month, $3 Australian dollars, so it's essentially free for Americans. I really appreciate you all coming past. Thank you very much, Jack, for joining in today, and I will see you all next time for more from the Sableyes. Yet again, I have to figure out how to click the button that ends the stream. I think it's over here. We'll click it and see.